Okay, so I've been thinking about our group, and I believe some of us have been meeting for a year and a half. And we've talked about a lot pertaining to healing and changing ourselves. And then I heard Greg Braden say that there are 4 what's the word I want? 4 powers of nature. There is gravity, the power of gravity, the power of electromagnetic field. There is a power, a higher negative power, and there's a lesser negative power. And the Hopi Indians say there is a 5th power of nature, and it's the power of beauty. And I've been experiencing that just this last month, listening to the women I've been working with and how they are describing how they're changing. One at home and work, and another one at home. And I'm watching them make these tremendous changes. So where I'm finding and feeling this beauty, the power of beauty in transformation, is when they say, I am about to act out in a negative old pattern of behavior. I catch myself and I do it different. And I do it with respect, and I do it with kindness. And the work it has taken for her to get there, and the trust and the work that has taken her to get to the level of trusting life or your higher power or source or God, has been tremendous. And there is an amazing beauty in someone describing how they did it different. So one is having to adjust because her husband decided he really didn't want to live, and he's been deteriorating for the last 2 years, really seriously deteriorating. And it's been a struggle not to just resent him for all his dependencies. And her daughter called her brothers and said, you need to come and visit Dad, and you need to come soon. And they came, and one brought his son, and they came, and they said, we're here to visit with Dad, so don't entertain me. We're here to visit with Dad. And it changed Dad so much, he told his wife, my friend, I want to live. And I'm going to start doing all the things I've been told I need to do. And he has been. And she's pedaling her bike as fast as she can to keep up with him, because she was geared to take care of him to the level he was at before his sons came to visit. He changed, she has to change, and she's changing as fast as she can. But we've been working for so long, for 2 years, we've been working so long that what she needed to change to, now that she had to make the changes, she can. And it's easier than it would have been if she was trying to do this 2 years ago. But it's still the fact that this is the love that I call that moves mountains. When we change our inner selves to who and what we really are, which is a loving being and not the ego-eccentric being, it's the love that moves mountains. So I'm watching people change, and it's fascinating, and it's inspiring, and it's motivating, and it's absolutely exciting. And what I want to do is be a focus group on healing. And nothing is original. I am using what I have gathered from other people. So, as we have heard, we need to create a heart-brain coherence because we need both. There's 40,000 brain cells in our heart. We have more brain cells in our heart than we do in our brain. But we need to put them together because the brain and the heart both communicate to the body. So if the brain communicates, it's usually a negative message. If the heart communicates, it's always a loving message. So when we connect the heart and the brain, then the heart and the brain are both communicating a loving message to the body, and it goes to every single cell. And when I am sitting in meditation and I'm focusing on gratitude or loving kindness or joy, I can feel it go out throughout my whole body, and I can feel my whole body respond in a positive way. And it feels like there's all this little interaction going on, which I call realignment. I want to make that as a group our focus. And so the technique would be to shift from our head to our heart, and you can tap or gently rub the heart for extra focus. Slow our breathing down to a rhythm that is yours, but it is there. We all have a rhythm for breath work. And then how we create the heart-brain coherence is through the word or words that we use. But we have to feel it. It's not just a word. Just the word won't do it. So appreciation, gratitude, caring, compassion, loving kindness, and or joy would be the foundation of our communication to our body and to whoever else we are holding in space. And today I would like to start with Erwin, and then Jennifer, and then another few minutes focusing and putting our lists. We each have a list of people, and putting our list into this, well, I call it the quantum field, and I call it, what do I call it? I need to write this down.
The vacuum of space.
Thank you very much, Evie. That's exactly what I call it, because that works for me. The quantum field in the vacuum of space sets it up, but you use your words. Each week, I would like to focus on 2 individuals and then do a group thing. And the group thing could be humanity, it could be politicians, it could be whatever group we want to do. And we're going to pick people by who you pick. So I picked 2 people today, and the group I want to do are lists of people. And I'm going to tell you, I did this one day, the list of people. And what happened was I was imagining the quantum field, the vacuum of space, as pitch black sky. And so there's no form in it. It's just pitch black. And a little voice said, "Grandma Sue, it's too dark in here. Would you turn the lights on?" So then I made my vacuum of space the glow of a full moon, which is quite bright. And it's a beautiful, natural glow of white light. So that now is my vacuum of space, because my little granddaughter is in there on my list. And then the strange thing was, I don't remember, and my brother's name is not on the list, but he literally crawled out of that space like he was a thief crawling out of a window. And it just totally took me by surprise. He left. Nobody else wanted to leave. So I don't know what's going to happen when we do these things. It's just like all our other circles. I don't know what's going to happen. But I believe when we focus, what I get all the information I've been gathering from different people, when we hold that quantum field and our communication to it is, we're bringing in Erwin, and then we focus on whatever word takes you to a very powerful feeling of the meaning of that word. And we hold the space with that word, the feeling, and then we let it go in gratitude. We're done. That's what I would like to do. And now, if you would like to give me some feedback, that would be helpful.
The feedback I would give you, Sue, is it is totally in alignment with what I've experienced. I've just, as always, you and I come up with always something similar. We have different words for it. So I just want to say that, yeah, I'm with you.
And thank you. I don't know that Angelique knows that Erwin is my partner who's been dealing with a difficult illness and now has a surgical procedure coming up for a tumor, which we think is benign, but we don't know. And it's between his it's around his heart. It's not at his heart, but so thank you. Really.
Thank you.
And he appreciates it too.
And Sue, Evie, what is his name exactly?
Erwin, ERWIN.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I also want to, when we do Jennifer, we're doing Jennifer and all people who have cancer. And so Erwin, can we call it a rare disease?
You can call it a lung disease. It's called a mycobacterial infection, but it affects his lungs.
Okay. I was trying to put it in general. So he's at the tip of the iceberg and we're praying for him and everyone who has something similar.
Breathing problems.
Okay. All breathing problems or lung disease.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other suggestions or any other comments or any other questions?
What is not totally clear yet, Sue, is that are we praying for only 2 people today or for everyone?
So we're starting with 2. We're going to spend, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes on Erwin, and then 3 to 5 minutes on Jennifer, and then we'll do 3 to 5 minutes on our list, and then we'll see how much time we have because it's our time to do with as we want. So we can always add other people, and we'll add people every week. It'll be different people every week.
And do we have to mention the people we are adding to by name?
I think it's helpful to hear their name.
Actually, you don't have to. You send your communication into the quantum field. It's
Mhm.
in the quantum field.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's clear. I understand. And I'm totally with you. So yeah.
I have to drop off at 5 to 10. So I'm going to make you the host, co-host, Sue, so that you don't drop off when I drop off.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, so if I understand, we're going to spend like 5 minutes focusing on Erwin, but when we do that, we're focusing on Erwin and anybody else who has a lung or breathing problem, right?
Well, just focus on Erwin. Just focus on Erwin. Well, actually, we're just putting Erwin in the quantum field. We're focusing on the feeling. We put Erwin in, we focus on the feeling. So what we want to do is visualize Erwin healthy, happy, joyful. I'm going to picture Evie and Erwin dancing. I don't know if they've ever danced before, but I'm picturing them dancing. I'm picturing them walking hand in hand along a beach, along a path through the woods. I'm picturing them hosting people in their backyard, small groups, having fun. I want to see Erwin laugh more and enjoy life more. And that's part of the healing, and it makes me want to cry. So, and when we get to Jennifer's a young adult. I want to see her hiking. I want to see her socializing. I want to see her crying in joy for how well she feels. I want to see her in friendships. I'm going to imagine her. I don't know. Does she want to get married someday and have kids? Okay. But whatever she wants to do, I just want to see her happy, problem-free, healthy, vital, running races.
She loves adventure. She loves traveling, adventure, camping, partnering for sure, but she doesn't care about marriage or certainly not children at this age, but yeah.
It's not holding someone in space and focusing on their name. It's focusing on seeing them at the other end of this healing that they have to go through. So you're feeling and picturing perfect health. You're not saying perfect health, we are feeling joy, their gratitude that they're healthy. Does that make sense? That's what we're going to do the whole time. And it may only take 3 minutes. And then we're releasing them with gratitude that it's done. It's done. Okay.
Right.
Lynn, do you have a question?
I don't think so. I was just trying to tie in what you were saying about everyone who has the same condition. When we're doing for Jennifer, anyone who has cancer, but we're not specifically focusing on that. We're focusing on Erwin and Jennifer as what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway,
Surrogates.
and the other, pardon?
Did you say mean surrogates?
Yeah, surrogate would be fine. And then the other just is part of their healing, is part of the healing of the whole. Is that what more you're saying?
Yeah, because the intention is we're going to put our intention out to the quantum field. So we're putting Erwin in the field and everyone who has a similar problem. That's all we have to do about that. It's done. And then we visualize and feel Erwin healthy, happy, vibrant, full of life. And then it'll be done.
Okay, I understand now.
Okay. All right. Everyone go on mute. Get comfy. So first we want to take a few deep breaths to be centered in our heart. We don't want to overthink this. This is about feeling. So focus on our hearts. We are connected in our hearts. We are connected to every sentient being through our hearts, because source consciousness is in each heart. So bring yourself to a state of calm where you can trust the process. We feel connected, and we set our intention. We are bringing Erwin to the quantum field. And our intention is not just Erwin, but everyone who has breathing or lung problems. And we're going to visualize Erwin not as sick and not in a process, but as healed, healthy, happy, and healed. And we want to imagine him doing happy activities. And we're going to hold these feelings for the next 3 minutes, and then I'll call us back. And when we come back, we are releasing all of it to the quantum field, and the quantum field takes over, and we have done our part. And so we let go in gratitude. And I am going to go into silence now. You may gently bring a close to this, the new image of Erwin, letting and releasing him to the quantum field, happy for him, joyful for him, in gratitude, and so it is complete. Okay, that was, I didn't know what to expect. I know Erwin a little bit, and he did not know what to do. He did not know what to do with all this attention. So he stood in the middle, and us five held hands, and we formed a circle around him, and we were singing and dancing. And then I forgot, Erwin has a passion, and this roadster pulled up, and it was for Erwin, and he has the bicycle hat, and he has a scarf on now, and he gets into the roadster, and Evie and Erwin take a road trip, and they just travel all over. And he has a car in the garage he's working on, he's rebuilding it, and he is the happiest he's ever been. And he and I mean, Erwin and Evie have picnics, go for walks, and it was so fun. It was so fun. Does anybody else have one they want to share?
Well, yes, the road trip came up, and it was in a little sports car, and it was just zipping around corners and delighting at nature. And he's just so thankful that his body and mind and spirit were in this new place. And you got it right on in terms of he wouldn't know what to do with it. Kind of, yeah. That was right on. Thank you.
But I've spent more time maybe with Erwin than you have, Sue. So for me, he was instantly there. He was instantly there. He was happy. He was built. He was strong. He was laughing. We embraced. We chatted. He showed me his working on his cars in his garage. He showed me the garden. And I said, I just affirmed to him that he did it. He did it, completed it. It's gone. And I also saw the road trip and the adventures, but then we also did some walking down on your beach, Evie. So
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
I saw him standing little forward, and then all of a sudden he came up, and he had big feet, and he's standing on these big feet and little shuffling at first, and then he started walking, and then he turned over like a quarter, towards you, Evie, and he really grabbed you and you are dancing, the two of you, through a field full of flowers, really full of flowers. There were many, many, many flowers, and it was beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
But I saw him erecting again, not like this, but he was really coming forward and standing tall. With a big smile. Yeah.
What I saw most of the time was Erwin, and I do know Erwin some. And what I saw was a different Erwin than what I've experienced, in that he was so open to receiving. It was like he was standing there in the middle of us, and I could see these sort of squiggly rays of light just going into his lung, just into his lungs and his heart. And but what was, and it just kept doing that. But what I was so much more aware was how open he was, how open-hearted he was, and like that he welcomed all this. And that's where I still was when you called us back. It's just him, I didn't get off into the adventure yet. I was just got him just soaking all this up and being and welcoming it. His whole demeanor had changed from anything I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I love it. Okay. So is 3 minutes enough? Do we need more minutes? The next one is Jennifer. I don't know Jennifer. I just know of Jennifer through Sharon, but she's going to reveal herself to each of us. And so that's why to me, it doesn't matter how much we know somebody. I'm not there to control the person. I'm there to experience the person. I'm just feeding them with all this love and light and joy and gratitude that they are healthy and happy and wealthy. So is 3 minutes enough? Or do you want to do 5? 3 minutes?
Mhm.
All good? Okay. So everybody back in mute. And again, we're setting our attention to bring Jennifer into the quantum field, the vacuum of space, and all who have any forms of cancer. And we're going to focus our attention on the feelings in our heart and imagining Jennifer as a young woman full of life, full of love, full of gratitude, full of joy. And I'll call us back in 3 minutes. As we close this portion of our meditation with Jennifer, we want to release her and her process of healing to the vacuum of space, knowing it's complete and she is well and she is complete and she is healthy. And we release her in gratitude. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes.
That was fun.
I got interrupted. So I didn't get to finish it, but I will go back in later and work on Jennifer and a woman who is also struggling for her life showed right up, and I will work on both of them. So I didn't get to finish mine. I was just getting to the point of, I am so excited and happy for you. So who would like to share?
I will, Sue.
Oh, okay.
I saw Jennifer as extremely receptive, and having been through this process, these new doors started opening for her, where it was very clear what her calling was going to be. And it was, I saw her working with her peers, providing some support. And then at one point, I saw an image of her on a horse. I don't know where the horse came from, but I just saw this amazing strength and grace on this horse. And I just kind of held that. Just in an incredible, huge turn and change where everything she's been through becomes kind of the foundation for a really exciting new chapter. Thank you.
Shall I go?
Yes.
I saw her standing along the shore, along the coastline, on a beautiful beach, a really, really beautiful beach. And she was so connected with the water and the sea and the animals from the sea and the environment of the plants and everything growing there. And then she started walking. She made a long walk along the shore, and I heard the waves coming through, and she was really breathing on the rhythm of the waves, of the waves coming in and going out. And she felt really at peace, really, really peaceful. And then I saw Sharon and her sitting in a you have those large wooden white beach chairs where you can really very comfortable sit into, and the two of you were sitting next to each other, really happy, sharing thoughts and everything. And then there came all of a sudden a sort of circle of many women around you too, and cheering and celebrating. It was beautiful. Yeah. Really beautiful. And the atmosphere was very light. It was really, really, really much light. And it was more like daylight than moonlight. Yeah, an eternal light. It was really, really, really beautiful light. So.
Well, mine was different. I started out immediately, Jennifer was sitting at a table, like an old wooden, not to say old, but one of those big, heavy wooden tables, round table. And as I started, focusing on her, she took out a map, and she had this huge map spread out on the table. And she was just delighting looking at the map and tracing different areas. And it's like she was deciding where she was going to go, what she was going to do. and that just continued as I continued to focus on her traveling and having some unknown adventure, and it wasn't until, and then when Sue said something about starting to come back, it's like she at that instant knew it was complete, and she jumped up and she had a suitcase and she started packing her suitcase, and then I came back.
My Jennifer was born tongue-tied, and people didn't think she could speak for the first 6-7 years of her life because she was that silent. And he tells me, I remember now, but when I was in Tulsa, she reminded me that every time we would, because we did a lot of road trips as a family once my husband was dead, and she's almost every road trip there would be an Indian on a white horse riding beside the car with her. And when we were in Tulsa, and horses have been incredibly valuable part of her life from then that point on. When we were in Tulsa, that Indian chief came back, and because she also saw him hit, shot, and falling backwards off the horse in some other lifetime, and she was made, was made known to us that that was her in another lifetime. And that one of the things we needed to do in Tulsa while I was there is to go back to some archaeological indigenous mounds there, because we needed to heal that lifetime and restore her in that lifetime to her people. And she has always had this connection to that white horse that she's seen him ride. Last night, well, I'd say when I got back from Tulsa, my neighbors had put a white horse in the field behind my house, and you'll know what that looks like, called Dreamer. And Dreamer was intended to be a horse for their 10-year-old daughter, but hadn't been ridden for some time, so it was just in the field being cared for. And I spent a couple of experiences with Dreamer out in the field, just eye connecting and speaking to that horse. So last night I looked out, and Dreamer is on the ground. She's been on the ground for a couple of days. I didn't know why, but then I realized that Dreamer is dead. Dreamer's dead. I watch my neighbor pull a large, go down. I can tell Dreamer is not responding. And my neighbor's pulling a large tarp to cover Dreamer. I don't know what's happened. So I called her this morning, and evidently she developed a thing called a twisted gut. And so the choice was to then put her down, and they did. And but when I in that field with Jennifer today, all there was Jennifer and the white horse. Jennifer as probably a 21-year-old and the white horse, and thrilled and happy and claiming the joy for this lifetime. And that's all was there, just her and the horse, and the happiness, and the horse and the happiness. I said, what is this with Dreamer? And she said, Dreamer's with me always. Dreamer is with me always. And then I felt that the power of the horse and her together, it was as if the tail of the horse would clear or make clear fields, and like you say, many, many people. So thank you, Sue.
Those were amazing. Okay. Anything else on Jennifer? Okay. The next one is our lists. We'll do the same thing for everyone on our list. So we are putting everyone on our list, each of our lists, into the quantum field. And again, we're focusing on the feeling of happy, healthy people and our gratitude and their gratitude to witness instant healing and what they look like on the other side of their process. And I'll call us back in 3 minutes. Let's gently release everyone into the field, to the field, in gratitude, and know we are done. And it is done, and it is complete. Well, this time Jennifer showed back up for me instead of my list of people or the people. Well, she's on the list too, but anyway, Jennifer showed up, and the white horse, I saw the white horse, and she rides it every night in her dreams. And I thought that was joyful to see that. And I see her contemplating what she wants to do now that she has the rest of her life in front of her, for sure. And I didn't get anything on my list. I just was grateful that everybody's in the quantum field and spirit's taken over for all of them. You want to share something, Angelique?
Yeah, well, I can't find any words. It's so much information that there's, you know, there was my family there in the center of this field, and the little ones, and my daughter and my son, and more people. And what I saw happening was that there was this dark energy around them, and there was placed an huge golden, like a dome over them. So the dark was out, and the golden came in under this dome. So there was lots of healing. And there was so much. I can't even share it. It's too much to share. There's too much images. So, but this was an important information.
Okay.
So healing is going on there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, after we had this talk a couple of weeks ago about this family and about my daughter, and there has been changed really much in that time in between then and now. Not that I see them anyway, but there was sort of shift inside of me that I could really turn this button, and turned it over and turned another direction to walk my path from the heart, and to just let them live their own path from their heart, whatever it will be. And that is, that gives lots of space, emotionally space and heart space, and it's next to each other. It's a sad story, of course, but it's a story, and a story can also become a burden. So it's now becoming more light and more fluid and more like dust, really. Yeah. So yesterday I created a new website and a new business card.
Okay.
So yeah, lots going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm done. Complete.
I had my biological family together in a way that we've never been before, with an openness and a vulnerability. And we were all sharing and joyful. And my mom wasn't there, but she was at peace, and everyone was at peace. My dad was still there, and there was an amazing transformation that he had been through, and connectedness to all of us, acknowledging all the gifts that he has passed on to each one of us, and just a lot of gratitude sharing. And we were at the beach and the sun was shining, and Dad was in a beach chair with his feet in the water and just having a joyful time. Thank you.
Oh, I saw all the people that are in my circle of prayer every day. And that includes Jennifer and Erwin, because they're there in that space too. But it's like they were coming in at a different light, different vibration, which brought light to the rest of the group. And then I just I either went deeper or fell asleep or whatever. So I don't know what happened. That was it.
It's going to be interesting to see what evolves from this unified focus on these people. It also is a unified focus that is going to affect each one of us. And that's going to be interesting too. Because what I'm finding is that I am seeing and feeling new perspectives that are geared as solutions that I'd never seen before. And I find that exciting. Instead of mulling things over forever, looking for an answer, and then using a technique or a method I have, like in meditation, to ask for clarity, something's different. And it's not clarity, it's different than just receiving clarity. It's actually coming through as a solution. And it's just very different. So today we'll have another effect, and I'm looking forward to finding out what that is. Okay. So any suggestions? You want to do anything different? Do you like this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we want to pick 2 more people and a group. So we can do whatever group we want to, and whatever 2 people. And I don't know how to pick the people because I'm not picking people. I just picked 2 today to get us started. So how should we do this?
Can we each suggest people we want?
Sure.
I mean, I would love to have my sister, who's been struggling so much, my sister Geneva.
Well, okay, let me find my pen. Okay, so Geneva, how do you spell it?
Geneva.
Okay, who else?
Yes, I'd like to put Robert in, my partner, my loved one, yeah. And Corinne, my dear friend, who is recovering from a really huge physical journey, emotional physical journey. Last year, she couldn't even hardly walk and think and nothing, but she's really recovering from that. It was a deep burnout, let's say that.
How do you spell her name?
Corinne, Corine.
Okay.
Corinne. Yeah.
Evie, you have somebody you want to put in the circle? Okay, that's 3. And then we could decide on a group. We can do any kind of group. We can do politicians. We can do the medical system, legal system.
I'm
It's
gonna
the global politicians, because you live all there and I live here.
Yes,
So
yes,
global politicians,
Yes.
yeah, there's a lot going on here too. Yeah,
what were you saying, Abby?
sorry, Evie.
no, I have people that I'll put in a group, Sue, but
Mhm.
nobody individually at this moment. I'm gonna bathe in Irwin's process and let you guys know along the way how things shift. And they will,
Pretty powerful.
they will.
Okay, you guys. Thank you. That was an awesome experience. And I'm so sorry for all the interruptions. I just got interrupted and it was somebody I can't ignore. So we had the meditation anyway.
It was
Okay.
real- Yeah. And you're beaming. You are just beaming. You're just full of light.
I am going to just, what I saw with Irwin just took my breath away and makes me want to cry. And it just blew me away. So I'm just gonna kind of go back to that. If Irwin can have that big of a transformation, we all can have that big of a transformation for our friends and family. Yeah. Anything is possible when we take it to spirit. Okay. Love and light to all of you.
And to you.
And I'll see you at the next circle I see you.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.